Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a great week as we I'm trying to figure out what episode number we're on, and I'll probably find it here in just a little bit, but hopefully you guys are having a great week. And we, as you can tell from the thumbnail, we're gonna talk a little bit about lightning, because I always every week try to, what is in the news, what is being talked about. And so I went to my favorite, one of my favorite sources, and that's Automotive News, which always is pretty up to date on stuff. And they put out an article this week, and really it's something we've talked about in the past, but they wrote something this week about lightning and the retail replenishment centers going away. And I thought, let's just talk about that. It's in Automotive News, so it's in Auto News. So let's talk about it tonight. And we actually kind of told you guys already about that, but that kind of brought up the other subject I was thinking of is that then how do you get one if replenishment centers are going away? And I can tell you what dealers are probably going to start doing. We're going to talk a little bit about that and how, most vehicles you can find them in dealer lots. You might struggle a little bit of getting one at a dealer lot. So we'll talk about that later in our What's on Our Mind. And I do have a fun Is It True for today. Something I found out about today that a lot of people may not be happy about. And me, one of them. I'm included. So we'll talk about that here as well this week and tonight as a part of Is It True? So especially for those of you that have the Ford Pass credit card, I won't say any more about that until later, but that is also something that's going on. So what episode? I've been just trying to bypass to get to figure out what episode we're on. This is episode 183 that we're on tonight. And don't forget, you can listen to this as a podcast if you'd like. I don't have a lot of visuals tonight, so you can listen to this podcast if you'd like. And speaking of that, listen to your podcast this last weekend. Yeah, with Joe. That was really good. So thank you. If you guys haven't checked out Sarah's podcast, this is your opportunity to
the all women
sell it. Sell your podcast.
Oh well, I have Sue Mead coming on. Have you heard about her?
Yeah. Well, your next one's not her. You have that's
I have
ways away yet. She's like 3 people ahead right now. Like there's interviews she's done that you guys, you're still like a month before you guys see it.
Let's see. We have Kelly coming up along with Laura. We got to join her on Sunday. Yeah. And then we have Sue Mead. We're recording hers this week. Kathy is also being recorded this week. And Kathy is this week. Sue is next week. Shelby is the week after.
So you're like, she's got them in the bank waiting.
Yeah, and then I have 2 more from Sue that she suggested that she's going to get for me.
Pretty awesome. So and
yeah. If you don't know Sue is an automotive journalist of 30-some years. She's been in the business since 1988. Been to 50 plus countries. And has driven off-road and inducted into the Off-Road Hall of Fame.
Pretty awesome. So
I'm excited to hear from her.
So make sure you're following Sarah's channel, All Women Driven _ between each of those words. And you'll find it on YouTube or you can find it on Spotify.
Yes.
So if you want to listen to the podcast. So I've been listening to the podcast. So it's you kind of record it just like we are here for the live stream. So either way, you can get to it and find it, and pretty cool. You don't have to be a woman to enjoy listening to it. I learned a lot of things from it, and pretty cool because you had Jill on, who is a journalist, automotive journalist. So I kind of picked up on some things that as we get into this channel has evolved to more of a journalistic type of channel and letting people know information. Which I feel like that's primarily what we do anymore. I mean, with between the Maverick Mondays and the Super Duty Saturdays and Built Wild Wednesdays, it's about giving you guys information.
The car reviews like we do when we go and meet a new vehicle, or what you're doing with your complete guides, she considers those journalism.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
you're bringing the news.
Yeah. So we're getting more into that. So it was really interesting to see from her perspective on that too. And we're starting to write some articles. So last week I didn't really do one this week for Maverick Monday, but just because of the topic and everything. But we'll do one. We'll probably do an article. I'll probably do an article for Wednesday's video though. We're going to talk and Built Wild. So videos this last week we had go live. Speaking of like giving you guys content. Last Wednesday, we did a walk around between the 24 and 25 Bronco Outer Banks. Was that just this last week? Man, it seems so far, like it was so much further away. But I think that went really good because there's some things about the Bronco, the 25, that I did not realize they were updating, like the lighting and in the inside, as well as the cargo area, and some other updates like the running boards and such, that I just was like, okay, so they really have upgraded some other things, but they didn't really make a big deal about some of those.
Right.
So that video was on Wednesday. Super Duty Saturday, we talked about the Platinum Plus package, not just the benefits, but also how it looks different. And if you're wanting the Platinum Plus, what you're getting with that.
Yeah.
And so we talked about that on Saturday, and then yesterday, we showed the XL that we have and some different wheels we're putting on, and kind of highlighting the XL is pretty loaded up, really, when you think about it. And XLT, what is the difference between what do you get when you go from XL to XLT?
Right.
And is it worth it if you had a nice wheel like what we have on ours? So it kind of highlighted that in yesterday's video, so check those out. But so anyway, so we'll probably this next week we're gonna tomorrow for the Bronco video, we're gonna talk about lighting, off-road lighting for your Bronco.
Yeah.
So I have some off-road lights on my vehicle, but I've been doing some research. I thought, you know what, let's talk about that, and let's talk about the different types of lighting there is and what they all do and where they could be positioned on your Bronco and such. So I'm hoping that is a good video. I hope you guys will like it. But
yeah.
So, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do on Saturday, but we'll get into something. And people want us to do some walk arounds. So
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, and I'm sure we'll see what things come around. But I know people probably want to talk. Oh, that old T word, tariffs. Anyway, we'll see. We may not have a big audience tonight. Isn't there like somebody important speaking other than us? I don't know. I've heard there may be somebody speaking out there, but we'll just see.
I don't know. As I've mentioned before, I keep my socials very free of most things.
It's a little low. Trump's supposed to be talking tonight.
Oh, yep.
Maybe he'll talk about tariffs, and we'll talk about it next week. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see if that's a topic.
It's very windy here.
It is very windy here, but
like we got a nice whistle going through here.
Yeah. Guys whistling. Yeah. You guys probably hear that part. So anyway, but there you go. There's that. But
how's your weekend?
Oh yeah, this weekend. Sunday was Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had the grandkids over and did Dr. Seuss stuff. It didn't go over very well. When you have 3 grandkids, all like a couple, like a year
what I heard,
apart.
Theo was like keyed in on it. Like, yeah, let's do this. And then, Jaden's like, let's go do this instead. And Will's just following what he's doing because, one cousin make mischief, the other one has to as well.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So we had them over and yeah.
Yeah.
So about it. Nothing major.
I did yard work.
We talked about all the yard work we need to do. Research a little more on a mower. I think I've come to a conclusion on a mower. So we're going electric.
Yeah.
And I'm talking riding mower here. So we're going electric, and I know it's going to be a little more expensive than a gas. We want 0 turn, so we're getting an electric 0 turn mower.
Okay.
And so anyway.
Yeah.
It's just whistling. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's one of those high pitches that just comes over the microphone because of how high it is.
Oh, it's the guy that is recently back.
Yes,
he's been
back.
gone for 2 months.
It's kind of funny though. Oh, never mind. Anyway, I won't talk about that. But yeah. So anyway, let's see what else we got going on. So yeah. Figure that out. So I think I got a mower plan.
Yeah.
Electric.
We had to rake the yard. We found out that because we did not rake the leaves in the fall, and Lebo did not do a last trim of the summer, that we had a lot of dead stuff. So once we did a lot of raking, we had a lot of green growing. Our yard is very happy now. We're also getting the fence installed, hopefully next week.
Yeah.
Yep. We have a lot going on. 8 chickens,
all right, so
3 dogs, 2 kids.
I can't see S. Waltz, but he's got all kinds of icons that we must have loaded. A softball. He's got all kinds of stuff.
It's the Ford Blue Oval, the SUV, the Bronco, the softball, and then the electric and Blue Mav. So if you go to YouTube, you can see them all.
Yeah. In here, on here, it's just a bunch of like words and
Yeah.
things on it.
Which I need to go back through and see if I can find the files for those, because I want to make those backgrounds transparent. Now that I know how.
All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Don't forget, make sure you're subscribed. We hit 70,000 subscribers today. So another milestone for the channel.
If I had known that earlier, I would have bought cake.
Anyway, so yeah.
I'll always
so
find an excuse to have
70K. So there you go. That's exciting. So now I just got to hit the next one. Well, 75 is 3/4, 100,000 is the number we want to get to. See if we can get to 100,000 before they do away with the little button that you get in the mail. I want the channel to get that. Anyway, so yep. So there's that. Anyway, all right. See what else we got going on. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification bell too, so you don't miss any of the videos, and everything. And yeah. So what else we got? And you can become a member of the channel if you want.
Yes.
So Sarah can tell you all about that.
Yeah. If you would like to join, is the join button beside the subscribe button. If you're an iPhone user, you may have to do things differently. You'll need to go to your web browser, go up to the little A and big A, request desktop browser, and at that point you should be able to see it.
Yep. And you'll find all our membership content under the membership tab. We did have it on the home page of the channel, but we kind of made that separate. That is there to kind of entice people to be members, but it also, I think, it went reverse for us. We had some people that were upset because they couldn't watch a video without paying, is what they thought. And so I'm like, no, that's just what you get if you're a member. But there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's how we're going to do that. Also, if you have the bell notification turned on, when a member video goes live, you'll get an email, but you also should get a notification on your phone too. So if you have those turned on, but anyway. All right, what else? Merch site. We do have actually 2 merch sites set up. We have one for our Ford Video Guy merch, lawmacarthur.myspreadshop.com. This link is in the description of this video. Also, Law McArthur has one. So if you want some Law McArthur hats and vests and different things like that, we do have a Law McArthur one set up. I think it's like merch loop or something. .com/Law McArthur, I think is what it is. Anyway, that link is also in the description. So if you want some Law McArthur merch, there you go. And then right now, or starting the 6th, so this Thursday, there will be 15% off of everything on our merch site. So if you're wanting any of those, so there you go. And it might be time to go with that. I want a Law McArthur. I want a Ford Video Guy vest. It's late in the year. Just we'll wait till next year. Anyway.
I have also been wanting a Ford Video Guy vest.
Yeah. All right.
Although my Bronco vest is pretty top notch.
And if you do want to stay up on the articles, when we do write those, they're going to be posted on FordVideoGuyMedia.com. So you can find our blog there, as well as.
Do you have a notification bell on that?
No. No, but I do try to, as long as you're following me on the socials. So Threads. If you follow me, you can follow me on Facebook. I don't usually add people as friends, but if you can follow me on Facebook, I post all the stuff, videos and everything, articles on there. So on Facebook, on Threads, Instagram, X, all over on those. So you can always keep up to date with us on that. So. And we've been doing the shorts quite a bit. Hopefully you guys, I don't know if you guys are noticing that, but we're pulling those out of these live streams here. And so about all of our shorts are coming from these. And because you guys are putting some great questions up there. And so because of you guys' great questions, we're able to answer those, in a short time, and then those are great for shorts. So keep bringing those questions, and we'll keep giving you guys the answers, and then making that helps create great shorts that people can find that information quickly, because nowadays people want information quickly. So there you go. All right, that's all I have for that. Oh, and then don't forget channels we like to watch and everything. All Train Nation moved their live stream from Monday night to Sunday night.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was my Monday night. Barb last night, she's like, "So what are you gonna do Monday nights now?" I guess I got to talk to you. Anyway, but no, that just so Sunday night, it is difficult for us sometimes, because planning things on Sunday, and then getting Jaden back home, and then getting home ourselves. But they do theirs late enough that we should still be able to jump in there. And I didn't realize they were making that change this week, so I missed out on that. But I did watch the recording; it was pretty good. So anyway, other than that, fun stuff. And then alternation, and then of course Johnny's Car Current Reviews. Turned down for what? So if you're into, like, especially tonight, we're going to talk about EV and lightnings and such, and their channel, they have a podcast, and they talk 100% EV. So if you're into that, you can check their channel out as well. And I have these all linked in the description if you want to check those out later. Let's see what else. RagnarCon, one of our valued members, he sent me a couple links tonight we might dive into if it comes up. So RagnarCon has a great channel, and he had a video the other day that went live on his Bronco brake. I like his Bronco brakes. So he had that go live the other day, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But make sure you go over and give it a watch as well, and a subscribe for his channel too. So anyway, he's usually in here. He's probably listening in. All right. Well, before you get your good dealer moment ready, and I'll go over patches.
I got it done tonight.
You got it. You ready? All right. So we got this in here. So we had done a swap with, was it Sass the Bronco?
I think so.
From Montgomery, Texas?
Yes.
I think hers said Montgomery on them. And done a swap with them, but was it her daughter or
her mom?
Her mom also has a Bronco. Gray_Goose_the_Braptor. And so we did a swap with them.
I love the name.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's their sticker. And I'll get these. And actually, I didn't post last week's because I only had one. So I'm going to post these with last week's for those of you that are looking for that, because I like to post it and tag them so you guys know where they're at. There you go. And I have patches coming pretty soon. I think they're in production. So hopefully we'll get some patches for a Supercell.
Is this your drink?
Yep. So
there you go.
You all know, if you know what beverages are available at Chick-fil-A, it narrows it down, right? So they sent a poker chip as well. And that was Sass the Bronco. They gave us an updated one as well. So pretty cool. So appreciate that. Let's see. The other one that we received from Bumble. Here, let me pull this up. Find out. They're from Iowa. Ooh, Iowa. Oh, this is good because I don't think I've gotten an Iowa up there. I do like collecting the states up there on my board there.
You're running out of room.
Well, that one can go over the vehicles if I need you to put it right there. But yeah, we're running out of room. We'll need to get a third one so we can put all the states on one and all the Broncos on another.
I'm running out of room at my desk.
So pretty cool. So here's the sticker, and the patch looks just like it. So that's pretty cool. And just says Iowa. And what's their handle? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. We'll get the handle and figure out who it was from. I think it's Bumble.
See, I thought you already...
Dave and Bruno, it says.
I thought you already had Grey Goose for a second.
Well,
the background's similar.
Anyway, we'll figure out their YouTube handle. A lot of people put them on their patches. We'll figure that one out, and then we'll get those all on social media for you tomorrow. Figure that all out. So there you go. All right, you got a good dealer. Oh wait, before we get into that,
Member shout outs.
Well,
Oh yes, what's in Tim's cup? So
what's in Tim's cup?
I got guesses. Air, because they were like, Tim has no cup. Air.
I took a sip earlier quickly.
Sweet tea.
Mm.
Lemonade.
Oh, your mom really likes their frozen lemonade.
Oh, I love their lemonade. Just the lemonade, not the frozen. Root beer.
Those all them? It's root beer.
I guessed so.
Yeah. So usually I'm out someplace if they don't have Pepsi, they have Coke. I usually will not get Coke.
Mm.
So it's like Pepsi, like, nah, what else you got?
Right.
Anyway. All right. So there's that, but we also need to do member shout outs. Don't want to skip over that.
Yes.
So before we do good deal moments,
I'm good to go.
Let's do that.
All right, we have Mike M. Good evening, Ridgeview and Law McArthur all. After tonight, just 4 days to daylight savings time. Yes. We have Timothy Clemens. Hello, all. Looks like I'm first this week. Brian Foster. Brian in Southern California. It was a beautiful day today, but a storm will bring rain starting tomorrow. Hopefully, everyone's doing great. It rained overnight. It was cloudy. Then it got sunny. I thought it was going to stay sunny. Then more clouds came in, and it started raining, and it's been getting windier and windier throughout the day.
And it's getting cold, so we're supposed to get snow tonight.
I thought we were supposed to get snow today.
Tonight, as it gets colder. So it's supposed to, starting at 2:00, it was supposed to, the hottest part of the day was supposed to get up to 60 and then start trail off and get colder and be down in the low 30s overnight.
Well, my bad. I left my son's coat in my car thinking that it was going to be a nice day for him. And then it turned into
So if the stream goes, you just know it's because we're supposed to have like, they're saying like a
straight
wind.
winds.
Yeah, they're saying that it is a,
might be like the microburst that we had.
It is supposed to be like serious, what do they call that? Wind warnings or whatever. But the winds are supposed to be as fast as a level 0 tornado. So almost tornado type of winds. So if the stream goes, yeah, we lost power because you never know when high winds like this. We can sometimes lose power for a little bit. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll keep going. Well, I feel like we've had a bunch of these Tuesday nights where it's like a storm's come in on a Tuesday night, and we've sat here just streaming along.
You probably can't hear the creaking. Like it gets really ominous in here because the entire roof and building just starts creaking.
Yep. People have gone home, so it's really quiet in the showroom. We shut the music off, but then you hear the wind blowing, and then you can hear the tiles and the roof goes creaking, and it's almost like you're in a horror movie or something.
Yeah. Anyways, Ronald Smith. Good evening to Tim and Sarah. We have our Quib says windy Tuesday evening there. Bucko, good windy, rainy, snowy evening in Casey. Steve says, hey, Ridgeview. We have Buck, yeah. Jack Evans, hello, friends. 33 days till Master Week and 51 days until Supercell.
That's all right.
I love these countdowns you guys are doing for us. Hi, all. We just got our patches and stickers in. We can't wait to trade with you. Oh, yay. Oh, I think you know our address. It's the dealership address.
Yep.
And I know your address, so I'll just swap you.
17 days till we're going to be at Off Rodeo.
That's right.
With Buck, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to book 2 more interviews for those 2 days that you're gone.
So we're going to...
So then I have one on each day because you're gone. Yeah. I have free reign of the studio.
I already have it set up. So Amy Clouds is going to be our trail guide. So they're Mike and Amy or Clouds were
that's who
they're the directors of that location.
Kelly and Allie both mentioned her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Amy will be our guide. So that's why I contacted him because I knew he was in charge of that location.
You need to get me her information so I can get her on.
Okay. Yep, we'll do that.
All right.
Yep, because I actually have the people that are in charge of each location. I got that information from somebody. one of our friends. And so I have those just because we're doing that special deal about the off rodeo with when you purchase a vehicle. So anyway, so that's what we're so they gave me that for that reason. But for this time, I'm like, I wanted to do it because I wanted one of those to be our trail guide because yeah, we were gonna do content. And they've
Yeah.
worked with people. They've worked with other YouTubers that have gone off rodeo
Yeah.
there in Texas, so they know a little bit about how that works. And so I
Yeah.
wanted them. So
We have Ghosting. Good evening, everyone. Brandon. Woo. 183. Jack Evans. Hello. Mabsim. Hello, all. We have Mid Coast Maine here. Steve Young saying, you guys are very busy. We are. Fleet sales to U.S. government agencies are now limited to $1. What? I'm confused on that.
I don't know. I'm sure there's.
Oh, huh. Okay, now I get what it's saying. All right, onwards. Ford enthusiasts, hello all. S. Waltz, you won't be able to see his emojis up there, but if you go to the YouTube chat, you will see what he's saying there. Looking forward to seeing Tim and Jack in Townsend on Monday after I head to Charlotte for Mustang Unleashed. So Mike M's going to Mustang Unleashed.
But Monday we won't be there Monday.
No, I'm pretty.
Oh, so you're gonna be in Charlotte on Monday, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be fun for him. Mustang Unleashed.
Is now a good time to buy a Ford Bronco?
Yeah, you should see the price that's going
What
live
about
tonight.
25?
A 25?
We have those. We're starting to get them in.
Yeah, we're starting to get them in.
All right. And then Buck, yes, says he'll get us a Washington State patch.
Yeah, I saw that. Sweet.
Yeah.
We'll trade it in person in a couple weeks.
Taking mine.
Yep. Yeah, we have prices on Bronco. It's getting crazy. Well, and the thing of it is we are pricing ours really low, but we're also losing money doing it just because we need to sell them. Yeah, we have. They're enticing me. There's a Bronco Badlands. We're back to $49,900 again because yeah, they did away with that price isn't right. They did away with some special rebates. They changed some rebates, but we kept the prices. So yeah, $49,900. That's crazy.
Yeah. So Ragnarcon says, that's a me. You mentioned him earlier.
Yep. All right. Every time that wind really blows, we're gonna be like on pins and needles, hoping we don't lose our internet. Let's see here. I can see a reflection of like the light poles just shaking out there. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
I'm just hoping I have a car out there when it's time to leave.
I was kind of talking about this with your mom because somebody had found a Bronco that I guess there was a Bronco in a ditch or something. Like, I mean, not just a ditch, but it was like a really steep ditch, and it was like they thought it was like totaled. So like they got a really good deal, and they said they could have it. They just had to get it out of there. So they had this big thing that took it out of the ditch and lifted it up, put it onto the highway and everything. When it got there, it landed and they looked at everything and all the frame was fine. All the shocks and everything was fine. There was some body damage. The roof was not on there, right? So maybe they have damage to the roof. But they said for the most part it was. And I said, well, that's the amazing thing. I've seen so many people off-roading with their Bronco and roll their Bronco and they put it back on the wheels. And half the time you didn't look at the body even, and there doesn't look like there's any damage. It's like, because each one of these on the Bronco, all the doors can come off, right?
Yeah.
So you can get new doors, right? And then each of the fenders can be like, I could take off a fender with parts out of my tools out of my tool bag, probably.
Yeah, because it's made to be the DIY vehicle.
Yeah, not just the fender flare, but the fenders themselves can come off. And so if you damage a fender, You don't have to, like some vehicles where you got to like cut and you got to do the certain things. No, that the fenders are different pieces, your grill's different.
Yeah.
So it's so much easier to be able to, like, if you damage like one side or another, okay, just a couple panels, we can, it's not going to be, I don't know, cost wise, but I mean,
Yeah.
most of the time it'll still, do well unless it really bends the axle or something. But yeah, so anyway, I was like, yeah, Broncos, they're tough in that way. But anyway, that was interesting to see that. But all right, all the members.
Could have sworn I heard a car alarm going off.
Oh, it could be. Anyway, all right, good dealer moment. You get one of them?
I do. Could wind like this set off a perimeter alarm?
It probably could. Not a perimeter alarm, but I don't know. But you know how? Okay, so
or the SOS,
the
or
perimeter alarm.
crash.
The perimeter alarm is like if it gets shaken side to side or it goes up or down, so it could actually set the perimeter alarm off if a vehicle has it.
Imagine that you get such strong wind that your alarms start going off in vehicles, and you have to go out, figure out which vehicle it is, come in, grab the keys, then go back.
Well, that happens sometimes with severe earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
Set alarms off too. Anyway,
might as well just pull all the keys out. All right. So today I have All American Ford, Old Bridge, New Jersey. Sales associate is Robert Reardon. And they said, honest answers to all my questions. No mach-e business. Sold vehicle for MSRP as advertised during COVID times. So Robert Reardon at All American Ford in Old Bridge, New Jersey.
I think I've heard of them before. So some of these good dealers, you kind of you hear their names and you remember them, So it's pretty cool. Pretty good.
I mean, All American. That would pretty much stick with you. They're all American.
All right. All right. Okay.
Onward.
All right. Earlier tonight, I had a video went live about scheduling information. And this is the last week for scheduling for June or February's allocations that dealers earned to be used for those April production dates. And so a lot of times when you're in that last week, a lot of the plants won't schedule because they've already got their month scheduled for the most part. And some models will schedule multiple weeks. And so a lot of your models will try to schedule bulk of their stuff, like all their retails first, and then next is retail stocks. And usually by the second or third week, they've scheduled out their month, and that's how they do it. But there's some models where they actually schedule each week. They plan to schedule because they don't want to use all the dealers' allocations that first week, because if they get some orders in throughout the month, they don't want them to lose out and have to wait. That customer have to wait a whole month to get scheduled. And so usually you see that with the F-150 and Super Duty usually schedules on multiple weeks. Well, they starting to do that with Maverick as well. I noticed that it was scheduling multiple weeks. And next week we'll kind of highlight you into which ones are going to be multiple weeks versus just trying to schedule them all at the beginning. So because of that reason, Bronco Sport, Maverick, Super Duty, F-150, and Transit are the only 5 of the models that are actually scheduling this week. And again, but to get your order scheduled, your dealer has to have an allocation, right? We've talked about that over and over. You have to have an allocation. We still have one allocation on the Maverick not used yet. So we'll have that. So all of our Broncos, we're out of Bronco Sport allocations, but everything else has been. So here's the big kicker on like Bronco Sport is that really right now, the only thing that can probably schedule is that Black Diamond off-road package. And that's a pretty good deal. And the reason is because it has a different tire than the rest of the Big Bends, and the Heritage Editions, Freewheeling, they all take the same tire, which is also the same tire of the Maverick XL and XLT, which is why those won't get scheduled probably this week, because that's just a tire. I mean, there's only so many tires that they can get the supplies for, because that reason they scheduled that out. I think even on the Maverick, like 60% of the Maverick scheduled have that tire on it.
Yeah.
And I think I saw that maybe on the Bronco Sport as well. So for that reason, if you want to get a Bronco Sport scheduled, the only way you're probably going to get it scheduled is if it has that Black Diamond off-road package on it. And then Maverick, they are doing cleanup scheduling. They actually did change some things because they're doing multiple weeks, as I mentioned, that their all-wheel drive and trimmer is constrained, as well as that tire that's in the XL XLT. Super Duty has several different things in there that they mentioned. Crew cabs, all their crew cabs are pretty much limited availability. Platinum, F600, Platinum Plus, the Tough Bed spray and liner, the trimmer off-road package, the black appearance package, 20-inch wheel is all constrained for the most part, as well as fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. So they pretty much scheduled most of their production for that stuff. But they need some regular cab and super cabs. So if somebody has one of those, they could probably get scheduled. F-150, it's scheduling as well. And very limited exhausted is your 5.0 liter gas engine, the 3.5 liter gas engine, and some different wheel options, the twin panel moonroof as well. The Raptor R looks like it's very limited, and trimmer is very limited too. So you have all those. So Lightning is scheduling, but it says best availability to use the allocation this week would be on the XLT version or the Platinum version without the Dark Elements package. And then Transit, it has some, but not many people are probably waiting on a Transit order to get scheduled. But so there's that kind of information there. So I do want you to drop your questions in there. I actually did this week's video went over what's going on for May production dates. And that's we'll use March's allocations for those May production dates. And so we'll get those final number of allocations like Friday is when we'll finally be able to see those. So we'll be able to see as dealers numbers of what those are. So if you go into your dealer this week to say, hey, what do your allocations look like for next week? Or if you ask them, what are your allocations? They're only going to be able to see for this week. So until they schedule this week out, they're not going to be able to see next week's or next month's allocations. So you probably need to wait until next Monday to get that information from them. Anyway, some other different facts that I highlighted in the earlier video is maybe some things to kind of take note of. That the Bronco and Ranger plant will be down the week of April or May 19th that week. They are wanting for the Bronco, they are needing some Heritage 2.7 liter orders. So 4-door Heritage Edition with the 2.7 liter. They're needing some of those orders. Also, it says they need less Big Ben. What they really want is they want some Big Bens with the Black Diamond or the black appearance package. There's a slide in here I'll get to in just a second that kind of highlights that. So those are some things they need. Their Big Bend mix is 29%, but they need some of those other ones. Bronco Sport, same way. 50% production will be Big Ben trim. And they also, it says they need more Black Diamond package on the Big Ben. And it says they need about 50% mix. Right now, I think it's below 20%. So, in today's call with Ford with Rob Caffel, he mentioned that the Black Diamond package is something that nobody else can compete with. It's a nice off-road, thing that you can put on your vehicle that there aren't any other off-road compact vehicles that can match up with that capabilities and those different things on there. Now, it's going to look a lot like an Outer Banks Sasquatch and a Badlands Sasquatch, in a way of the equipment and such like that and some of the off-road capabilities. So it's a pretty cool package. And something to note that we found out today, that package we actually have talked about is $1,750, right?
Yes.
Guess what? They have a rebate on the Black Diamond off-road package for $1,750.
Yeah.
So you basically get that package for like $60. Because I looked, there's a sheet we'll talk about in a little bit where you can get that package after the rebates for the same price as a Big Ben, a standard Big Ben. That is crazy. It's a good package.
Yeah.
And so we have some available now. So you don't have to order one.
Come get
come get ours, because we ordered ours with the Big Ben with just a Black Diamond package. So it'll be that $30,000 price plus a destination. Right. That's a pretty good deal. And I think we're even discounting ours like $1,000. So you really can get it under $30,000 with that package on it, which is crazy. Let's see what else. Expedition, little note, Active 202A is 0% capacity, and the Platinum Standard is 0%. Platinum Ultimate is 0%. So they said that those all are being reserved for the month of May for fleet orders. The entire, all of the two active 202As, Platinum Ultimates and Platinums are only going to be available for your fleet, which is crazy. So I'm like, well, who are those going to? The government? Are they ordering those Platinum Ultimates? Yeah. Right? The active 202As, is there like a school district that's getting a bunch? I don't know. Anyway, so those are going to that. So basically, if you're wanting an expedition, if you have one unscheduled now, hopefully you have a Stealth, hopefully you have a Tremor or a King Ranch. That's about the only hope to get scheduled for May production dates. Maverick, not much in here other than it says 51% hybrid. So it's about almost a 50-50 mix. F-150, they need more 2.7 and 3.5 hybrids. So here's the kicker on that is that's not that they're not getting those orders. It's that they ramped up production on the 2.7. It had their production level capacity was like 10% like 5 months ago, and now it's like almost 30%.
Yeah.
And the hybrid is the same way. They ramped up production on a hybrid way up. So they're able to make more of those motors. So they need more orders. On the Super Duty, they have the production of the fifth wheel prep package capacity is increased to 27% now. So that has been ramped up. So if you have one, you've been waiting, and maybe that fifth wheel hitch prep package was holding it up, keep that on there for a little bit longer. You have a good chance because that capacity went up for the month of May production dates, and the F-450 is staying at 5%. So we did see that increase from 2.5% to 5% for April. It's continuing for May as well. Let's see what else. F-150 Lightning mix is going to be 20% XLT, 60% Flash, 14% Lariat, and 6% Platinum. So anyway, so that's the most part. And those are kind of some of the national numbers. I have some commodity reports for our region, which wouldn't always reflect every region. So I hate to kind of go over those and say this is what it is for everybody. Anyway, I mentioned the Black Diamond package. I mentioned the Heritage Bronco. So, Big Ben, you can also get the freewheeling package. So they're trying to highlight that, a standard Big Ben's not all that's, out there. You can also go Black Appearance package, Black Diamond, and freewheeling on the Big Ben. So they're trying to highlight those configurations. Talked about Expedition and the fleet orders and Super Duty. Let's see some other notes. Don't forget, spray and bed liner did increase last month by 100 units per week. And we told you about the F-450 increasing to 5%. That's an extra 225 F-450s a week. And then the all-new Platinum Plus is now being produced. So as of start of April 7th is starting to pre-produce at 3%. Capacity. So that's about 100 Platinum Pluses a week will be built. So there you go. All right. I think that's it. Any questions?
I don't think so. I have one about allocations and how they work.
Okay. We can talk about that.
Can you go over how allocations work? Do you get an allocation for a specific model and trim like F-350 Platinum Plus, or just the general types like Super Duty?
Okay, great question. So allocations do, for the most part, work pretty much. They blanket the whole model. There are some exceptions. So some of your specialties get their own allocation system. So let's go through, and I'll just go through them here. So like on Mustang, the Mustang, it's all Mustangs, GTs, EcoBoost, it doesn't matter. They're all blanketed under one, with the exception of the Dark Horse. Escape and then plug-in is separated out from Escape. So Escape, gas, and hybrid will be mixed together for one set of allocation. Plug-in is separate. Bronco Sport, it's blankets all of them. Bronco, they do separate out Raptors from Bronco. So there's all Broncos, and then Bronco Raptor gets a separate allocation. Mach-e, it's all of them. Explorer, it's all of them. Expedition, it's all of them. Maverick, it's all of them. Ranger, standard Ranger, and then you do have Ranger Raptor is separated out. Super Duty, it is all Super Duty. So they don't separate out 450s or 350s. It's all Super Duties, Platinums as well. And then F-150, they separate the Raptors out. So you'll have F-150 allocations, and there's two different Raptor allocations. There's your Raptor base Raptor and Raptor 37. It gets one set of allocation. Raptor R is separate. Then F-150 Lightning is separated out as electric, and then transit. So that's kind of how that all, and then E-Transit separated out from transit. So that's kind of how that breaks out. So, all right.
All right. And then Jason shouted out, he said he bought a 23 Lightning Bolt a few days ago. Can't wait for it to arrive here in Florida. You guys are great from sales to service. Shout out to Austin and Alex. I'll buy there again, definitely.
He bought one of our used Lightning Bolts, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it was sold here new, 23, traded in on a newer Lightning Bolt, probably a 24.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
pretty cool. All right. In Florida, going to Florida. All right. Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else started this time.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on. I do have some order guide updates, but I haven't looked them over yet. So didn't have time. I had 3 meetings today to attend, which I actually meant to say that with Ronald. I think I noticed that he called me, but I had a couple meetings, so I was trying to catch up on things.
He was
so,
busy.
Yeah.
I took all of his photography time.
So there are 3 order guides that did get updated this week. Every month, if there's anything that they notice is incorrect or whatever, they'll try to update those at the beginning of every month. And so this month we had 3 order guides. Technically, it was okay. Well, one was Super Duty cabin chassis cabs, so they'll have their own order guide. And then the Super Duty pickups have a separate one. Theirs was updated, and Maverick was updated. It looks like on the Maverick, it was the optional equipment pages for every trim was updated. Something on that page was updated. I was thinking instead of going through that, I would just ask the brand manager what was changed, and maybe he would know. So I haven't had a chance to look those over. But those are some changes to some order guides that we'll get into maybe next week. So
all right. What you got?
Any other questions?
So, JT, I noticed your comment. I received my order confirmation for the Bronco Badlands SAS that I ordered today. Do you know when its production date will be? So, since you just ordered today, you might get scheduled this week or next week, right?
It'll probably more likely next week.
Yes. If your dealer has allocations for Bronco.
Yep. All comes down to allocations.
Yes. So once your dealer has allocations, you'll get scheduled.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Depends on how many orders are at the dealer and your configuration and such like that.
Yes.
So there's a lot that goes into play.
But once you get scheduled, then you'll be scheduled to the week. After that, once you get closer within 2 weeks or so, you'll get scheduled to the day. And then you'll know your production date at that point.
Yeah, so we know for the fact that Bronco is not scheduled this week.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way for you to get your order scheduled this week. But next week, we start new allocations for those May production dates. So, checking with your dealer on next Monday, finding out how many allocations they have, but also you want to find out how many orders they have. Because if maybe they have 5 allocations that they are going to get.
Yeah.
But what if they have 6 orders? Well, not everybody's going to get scheduled. So, and then it's going to come down to your configuration. Not necessarily when you ordered, because that's the last thing that's looked at. It could come down to configuration. Unless there's somebody else that has another Badlands like you do, then it could come down to the date. But for the most part, as long as your dealer has an allocation and enough allocations to schedule all their orders at the dealership, then you should hopefully look at getting scheduled. Probably actually not next week, because the first week for Broncos is usually Raptor. So it'll probably be the week of the 17th, like the 20th would probably be the earliest you might get scheduled. So, but hopefully that helps get you some information of what's to come.
Good days to check in with your dealer. Mondays, they should know allocations for that week.
Or for the month. For the week. Yeah.
But then Friday is usually a good day to check in to see if you got scheduled in case you don't get that email.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is the 2026 Bronco refreshed body style?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Ford's keeping it tight.
Yep.
If a digital document for the order guide changes, you could run it through ChatGPT to see what differences there are. So if you have the digital files for the one before and the one after, run it through ChatGPT, and it should tell you what the changes were.
Really?
Yeah.
Guess I need to learn a little more about that. All right.
I don't know how to use it. Maybe Jeff would know.
I don't know. Well, we'll look into that. All right. Anything else?
It would be faster than reading it line by line. All right, that is all I have started. Yes, that is everything I have started.
Okay. There's not much for dealer news updates, but we'll just go through the couple things that I have here. All right. So on the 28th, the last day of February, Ford did send this out. And these actually has to do with parts, because these were actually usually I only look for sales updates or news bulletins, and these are both parts, but I thought it was significant to talk about. This in here has to do with Bronco hardtops. It says Ford Performance Parts and Accessories is pleased to announce the four-door Bronco hardtop is now available for dealer ordering through Ford Performance Parts distribution centers. So it says dealerships can purchase a four-door Bronco hardtop, and then of course it says with free shipping. Purchases will be billed under SVO on the parts statement. So customer price is $4,995 for that. And then of course the customer pays for the freight on that instead of the dealer, I guess, and that's how that works. And then it does say plus there's $350 for 2.5 hours of dealer installation as well. So anyway, so it does say in here for returns, important due to the size and weight of the hardtop, this product does not follow the normal return policy as stated on accessories.ford.com. So there you go. Anyway, so they're available now to order, because before I never got my email. So it's supposed to be anybody that were early and got a cloth top. They were supposed to get an email giving you the option of being able to buy the hardtop. And I never received any kind of email with availability to order the hardtop. But I think in this case, we like our cloth top so much. It's so what was it? I think it was this morning. It was warm enough this morning. I flipped the two little levers, flipped it back, and rolled the windows down, and bam, I was on the road and enjoying some nice cool air, and it was fun. And that's kind of what I like about the cloth top, is how easy it is and how quick it is to be able to enjoy that open air. You know, if I had a hard top, you have two pieces you can pull off. Definitely not as quick as I can on the cloth top. And then the middle one, you couldn't store on your Bronco if you have something in the back seat. So I love how nice it is to use. So, and I know there are some people that do hard top in the wintertime and then switch it out, put the soft top in the summertime if they want. So anyway, that is an option, I know. All right, this other one has to do with the previous model year keyless entry keypad accessory installation on the 25 model year Ford vehicles. So it says, do not attempt to sell or install the 315/902 megahertz accessory wireless keypads. That's part numbers KB3Z14-14A 626-A and B on 25 model year Ford vehicles, except Transit, Escape, and Econoline. These service part numbers are not compatible with the factory 434 megahertz radio transceiver modular found on the 25 model year vehicles. The FDRS tool does not support installation on non-compatible vehicles, and if installed, they will not function. So just so you're aware of that, you can't get, especially like people in the Maverick and such, you can't grab the last year's 24 and use it on a 25. It won't work. So, and I think that's what was happening was some of our early ones, they were sending us the wrong part number, and maybe that's why they weren't working. And so they had to send it to the other one. But there you go. I do know now that all these keypads, you have to have the FDRS to install the keypad now. So you have to program those using that tool. Or maybe if you have Forescan, if you're an individual, you might be able to, but there you go. So now it's getting to where it's almost, you almost want the dealership to do it. So anyway, so that's why I would encourage people to go ahead, especially is that might be there. That's one of those DIOs. So I tell you, keep DIOs off, keep accessories off. If it's something you can install pretty easily, then I say take it off. Now, there are some things that I'm like, okay, you know what? Put it on your order because it's a lot easier. It's probably be a lot easier for the dealer to do it.
Yeah.
And right now, that keypad is, in my opinion, is one of those that would fit under that. So, because it is different. Because I grabbed a keypad because we had one vehicle back there and I forgot to put the keypad on it. So I just went and grabbed the keypad out of the box and I went to go put it on, reading the instructions. I'm like, I'll just program this myself. I need an FDRS tool. So I'm like, okay, never mind. Put it back in the vehicle and I took the vehicle to service. So here you go. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right. The last bit of news is a price increase for the Bronco. 25 model year Bronco is getting a price increase effective March 5th. That's tomorrow. Price increase. So anybody that does not already have if you already have an order in, you should not. You'll see on your window sticker these price increases. Your dealer needs to price protect and honor the prices. Yeah. We know how that all works. You guys have heard the story before. So anyway, with this new price level, you're going to see an increase of the Big Ben Outer Banks Black Appearance Package price by $200. You're going to see an increase with the Sasquatch Black Appearance Package price of $200. The increase in the Badlands Black Appearance Package price by $400. You're going to see an increase in the Code Orange Seatbelt by $100. So there you go. So we're seeing some of that. So I know some people are like, oh, what's going to go on with tariffs and everything? Well, I think you're seeing that Ford's been kind of planning for some of that. And, but listen here, because not all, you could say it's not just the vehicles built in other countries that are affected. It's the parts that were produced in the other countries and come over that will affect prices too. So even if you have a vehicle, believe it or not, there isn't a vehicle in the United States probably, maybe a few, I'm not going to say any, there are probably just a few vehicles that are built in the United States, assembled in the United States, I should say. Their parts are not made in the United States. These parts are coming over from other countries, whether it be Canada, whether it be Mexico, whether it be China, somewhere else. Some of these parts are coming over from other countries. They're all going to be tariffed, right? So at some point, we don't know how long the tariff will last. Anyway, we'll just have to hold on and see about that. But just keep that in mind, is that some of these parts like this one happens to go looks like they're all Black Appearance Package. So there must be a part there that's more expensive than they thought, or the vendor part supplier raised the prices. And that's a lot of people get all upset about Ford. Ford raised the prices. They keep raising prices. They keep raising prices. Well, you got to understand, they're assembling the vehicles. A lot of these parts are made by other people, other companies, and sold to Ford.
Yes.
And so when they raise their prices, Ford can either decide, can we suck up the cost, or do we transfer that on over to the owner? And that's what they're doing, is they're transferring on over to us. So, yep. We see that, right? Egg prices went up.
Yeah.
Is it Dylan's fault? Is it your grocery store's fault?
No, it's because they had to kill a bunch of chickens.
It's who they're getting their eggs from, right? I like to do that. I was telling Jeff that earlier. I said, sometimes I have a hard time getting my point across. And so that's why sometimes I tend to say things twice. And I said, I think recently on allocations, I did that. I finally figured out an analogy that I like. And that is, allocations are like money. You can't go to your grocery store and buy eggs without money. So allocations is the money that you need to buy to get a vehicle scheduled for production. So if you want that order to be scheduled, you have to have money. Well, allocations is that money.
I feel like it's more like the eggs. You have to have eggs to purchase.
But you don't get allocations, right? You have to work to get the money. See, I'm working this in here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I got a good analogy, because you have to work to make money. Yes. And dealers get allocations by selling vehicles. The more they sell, the more allocations they get for each model. they get their allocations, and they can use those allocations to get more vehicles. Whether it be an ordered one for a customer or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my news. If you guys have a better one, send them to me. All right.
Yeah, because the eggs are truly because there were too many sick birds this year.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, the economy, they raised the prices of eggs. It's like, hold on.
Yeah, there's something.
There's the bird flu.
Well, and that's some during COVID too with suppliers when they could right they had issues with being able to work, right? So that's what we saw.
Well, everyone is like, oh, buy chickens so that way you can have eggs. You don't have to pay the high prices. I'm like, hold on. You have to pay for the coop. You have to put the coop up. You have to buy the chickens. You have to pay for the feed.
Farmer Sarah here.
You have to do all of that, but then you don't see eggs until July.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they only lay eggs for 3 to 4 years, if that. So then...
And then you have chicken.
And then you have chicken.
Chick-fil-A.
But on top of that even, your birds are still susceptible to the bird flu.
Yeah.
If they come into contact with another bird that has bird flu, they can get it. Your chickens can still pass away from it.
Yep.
It's not a foolproof plan.
Well, when they're done laying their eggs, I like white meat. Is that too mean?
People's like, if our birds get sick, we're just going to kill them, right? I'm like, yeah. If they get to the point where they need a vet, we're not going to take them to the vet and incur vet bills.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing here. They're not a pet. They are for eggs. They are.
But you named them.
I did.
All right.
My next batch is going to have Reba and Barbara Jean.
All right. We need to move on. All right. Any questions on dealer news updates or anything?
We had some.
Or anything on scheduling. We can revisit that. Always go back. If we talked about something, throw it in there. We revisit anything on this channel.
Tariff.
Yeah.
Tariff.
I've talked more about tariffs than I plan to tonight. I'm just saying, putting that out there.
Right.
Because we don't really know a lot yet.
No. Will tariffs cause the price of vehicles already built and on dealer lots to increase?
No.
Okay.
Now, if they're already on dealer lots, they've been, so every vehicle when they're built, right, and when they get shipped out, there's an invoice that's generated, and an invoice is a bill, right? So when Ford makes a vehicle, they plan for certain things. There's an invoice that's given to the dealer when that's shipped out. Once it's built, it creates an invoice, it creates an MSRP window sticker. That's what it's going to be. And they've already planned in there that, hey, this is going to the U.S. Here's what it costs. And that tariff is figured in at that time, I believe. I was actually watching something today. I think I need to rewatch it when I'm not focused on other things. But they were kind of talking about that prices. And it's not just the vehicles themselves going over to another country, but also parts, right? Parts that have to be also come over. So, just because a Bronco is built in the United States doesn't mean it's not going to be affected by a tariff if it has a part in it that's made in Mexico.
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of your motors for something like an Escape could have a tariff on it because the hybrid motor, I believe, is made in Mexico.
Yeah. So Mike52G says allocations are like Ford pass points. You sell cars, you get your pass points. Then you can use those points to order more cars.
We're going to talk about Ford pass points in a second, and some of you are not going to be happy about some of these.
So thank you.
Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll get through this, and then we'll get to the is it true?
But he was just giving you an analogy there.
Yes, that is a good one too.
Until we get to our news, and then it's gonna be.
Well, no, that still works for that.
Well, yes, it works for that.
Because the points that, we'll talk. We'll get to.
I'll get to my point when we get to that point.
Yeah. All right. Did you look that up and find that out today? You were gonna look that up.
Yes.
Yeah. You do that while I'm doing recalls.
Okay. I don't listen during recalls very often. People get chatty during recalls.
Okay, there's 3 recalls here, and some of these are just updates. Well, we got 2 of them are actually advanced notices of recalls, I think, and one of them is actually an update to one. All right, so this in here is compliance recall 24C30. I like seeing compliance recalls because those aren't safety recalls. So they usually they're not usually a stop build type thing. All right. So this in here is, this is actually the reason for this today, or this one came out on the 27th, is a supplement number 3 to the actual recall that came out back in like November 30th of 23. The original initial recall was 22C22. And then, in September 13th, it was updated to recall 24C30. Affects 16,915 vehicles. Some of the affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified by the Federal Motor Vehicle Standard, number 108, lamps, reflective devices, and associated equipment. You guys probably remember this one. And it requires the park or position lamp function to be steady burning. An over-the-air update to the body control module may have prevented the remedy from compliance recall 22C22 from being completed on certain vehicles. Vehicles without 22C22 performed completed may exhibit a front park position lamp flickering, resulting in a park position lamp function that is not steady burning. A front parking lamp that flickers could increase the risk of a crash. So letters were expected to be mailed the week of March 10th for this particular recall. So there's that. All right. The next one is customer satisfaction program. I like these too, because again, these aren't safety recalls. 24P28, and this is for 25 model year F-650s, 750s, 24 model year Super Duty, and Transits and Escapes. And this in here, this program will be in effect through March 3rd of 2026 for vehicles within the new bumper-to-bumper warranty coverage period. So that's 3 year, 36,000 miles. 137,256 vehicles are affected by this one. It says, in some of the affected vehicles with 5,000 miles or less may experience an internal failure on the air conditioning compressor that may cause loss of AC performance or function. Upon loss of AC performance or function, there may be an audible squeal if the AC compressor seizes, causing the drive belt to slip on the AC compressor pulley. So there you go. So this is basically, if you see this, you can take it in. And again, you have a year to get this completed if you're having these issues. Letters will not be mailed out on this one here. So, because it's basically, if it has that issue, they'll take care of it. All right. This next one is a safety recall 25S18. And this is an advance notice. So this is just letting dealers know what's going on. There's not a fix yet type of thing. It says this is for certain 2022 to 2024 model year F-150 Lightning vehicles. It says 940 vehicles are affected by this, so not that many. In some of the affected vehicles, a misaligned electrode may exist in certain high voltage battery arrays. Misaligned electrodes can lead to a short circuit in the high voltage battery after repeated charge and discharge cycles, increasing the risk of a fire, of a vehicle fire. Owners of letter will be mailed out after parts ordering information, including repair instructions, have been provided to dealers. So that's again, advance notice on that. Now, lastly, this is not a recall that came out, but an update to the recall on the backup camera. So Ford told dealers today in a national call that basically they have a recall fix. They have a fix available. They have a fix ready, but they want to test it completely to failure and make sure there's no issues at all before they put it out there for everybody. So their goal is that next Monday, sometime between next Monday, they hope by next Monday, they'll be able to roll this out to dealers for a fix. They said at the very latest, they're thinking the 13th. So next week sometime, they're hoping that recall will be available.
The 10th through the 13th.
Yes. So hopefully very earliest the 10th. They're hoping the very latest the 13th. But they have also said this in the past. Here, I'll throw this out there too, is they told us there was a fix a month ago too. And then there was issues and they had to back off and not let that go out. So anyway, so they believe they have a fix. It's been working. and they're just testing it completely so that it rolls out smoothly. Because they hate to say, hey, this is the fix, and then they have all the dealers complete this fix, spend all the time fixing these vehicles, and then to find out that didn't do it, or there's other issues, or threw something else out of whack, right? And then you got to come back in and do something else, right? So anyway, so there's the update to that. Not sure if we're supposed to put that out there, but it's out there now.
All right.
So there's that.
Okay. I got what I need to figure it out, and I can share it.
Just make sure it doesn't have any of your information on it. All right.
Pretty sure it doesn't.
Okay. Any questions about that or the safety recall? Because I could have initiated some questions. And no recall yet. No information on the shock recall for the Bronco or the battery recall for the Maverick. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Okay. So we ready for this?
Yes.
All right. So I thought this would be fun to talk about because this came to light. I got this information. I haven't seen any news bulletin about this, but I did receive this. I'm not sure how somebody at the dealership received this information. That it looks like to me that your Ford Pass Rewards Visa is being discontinued. The card service is being discontinued. No more people can sign up for that as of February 28th. So you can't sign up to get a Ford Pass Rewards card. Looks like to me Ford is discontinuing the program. And they're also the points you have earned for that, you have till May 27th of 2025. This May 27th. That's my anniversary. So this May 27th, any points earned that you earned from using your Ford Pass Visa card. And I was using that card just to get points, and basically. And so those points have to be used. So Sarah, you think you figured out how you can tell which are the points you've earned from that, and well, you may not have because you don't have a Ford Pass card, do you?
No, but I'll show you where to go if you want to look.
All right, you want me to put that up there?
Yeah. All right, so here I have my rewards dashboard up.
Okay.
And you can see here on the left side, recent history. You can view your history, and it should tell you what you had done. So like milestone expiration, vehicle service, which adds milestones.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see where that is. Rewards redemption. You can also see vehicle purchase. You can see that in there as well. So when you're looking at all of that, it should be able to tell you if it was Ford Pass points from your Visa or from your purchase or what it was.
You think so, huh?
I believe so.
All right. Well, will it break out your Ford Pass points, or the card points from your purchase points and service earned?
That's the question. I'm not sure, but it should. It should tell you directly where they're coming from for each and every point. Now we have like missing points. So if you're ever missing points from a purchase, that's where you go to declare that. They're very helpful with it too.
I'm gonna log in here.
So would you like me to remove this?
Yeah, you can remove that. I'm gonna see if I can get logged in and you can show me where to go there. So I go to my vehicle dashboard?
Yes. Wait. Maybe your account. I specifically went to Ford Pass Points dashboard. That's your vehicle, but go back up. Go to view all. Okay. So, go to Timothy's account.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get to it, and we're gonna show it up on the screen because I don't want you guys seeing unless you guys want to pay my bills on my Ford Passport. Then you can have my account number all you want if you want to pay it. All right.
So
rewards.
Go to rewards. That should have your dashboard.
Oh,
It did this to me earlier.
you all?
No.
Uh-oh.
Try closing that. Okay.
What's redeem do? Nothing.
Try going back to.
Well, anyway, your points are expiring if you use the Ford Pass Visa card, and the program's canceling. So some people said that probably what will happen is like First National Bank of Omaha will probably be contacting you to see what other cards you want because they're going to switch you out from your Ford Pass, the pretty Bronco card. I'm still keeping it, and they might switch it and cancel it, but switch it over to another card number. But yep. So looks like that card's getting paid off. But I got 73,000 points.
All right. I want you to click out of all of that. Go up, add a new tab.
What if I just restart it, refresh it, and try it? Nope, that didn't work. Okay, well.
I want you to Google Ford Pass dashboard. Ford Pass points.
Rewards?
Sign in.
I'm already signed in.
Okay.
That didn't work. All right. Anyway.
All right.
But there's that. So anyway, who knows?
Check it tomorrow. It worked for me after a couple of hours. Anyway, so that analogy will only work until the card is discontinued. At that point, who will actually know what that analogy means?
There you go. You got 72,000 points, and I actually in my app it says here's what you can redeem on. I gave you ideas, and so I'm like, well, I'm gonna be buying some stuff and dishing out those points because some of those, the question is like when you earn those points, some of them are from your service and your sales records. That's how you really earn them. But what's funny is Ford's saying here's all the different ways that you can use your points, right? And so it's been able to, hey, you can use it through purchasing your connected services, right? Or whatever. And so I was like, I'm using points for that. And now I think what's happened is that so many people are earning so many points from the Ford Pass credit card that it's costing them money because for all these people that are earning it from purchases with that credit card, they're earning points. And then basically Ford's paying for that or having to credit it, right? Whatever it might be. And I'm sorry, but if they're using it for the connected services, whoopee-doo. You guys have already paid for that. It's not like the connected service. That's just extra revenue for you, right? And anyway, but there's that. But all right. So that's fine. Okay. Well, we can move on. We have any questions yet before we move on to our topic?
What is the best or most preferred motor for the Bronco?
Best or preferred motor? Well, there are a lot of people that will say that it's the 2.7.
Yes.
So
if you're looking at best, it's what are you using it for? What are you planning to do with it? What type of terrain are you going over?
I will tell you the 2.3 has had less problems than the 2.7 since its launch. Because there's been some issues with the 2.7 when it launched or since it launched. And I'm a big fan. I think there's nothing wrong. Let me just say this. 2.7, more power. Granted, 100%. It's more power. Is a 2.3 adequate? Yes.
Yeah.
And I had a trainer that came through because I was trying to figure that out when I ordered my Bronco. I'm like, should I go 2.7 or 2.3 going to be enough? And he goes, go drive a Ranger. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, same platform. It's the same vehicle. I said, go. It's going to be the same as the Bronco. It's the same. Everything's the same. Go drive a Ranger 2.3. They've only been putting the 2.3 in the Ranger for how many years now? He said, it's going to drive the same. I'm like, true. That's why I chose the 2.3 because I'm like, you know what? That is plenty. Because the Ranger 2.3 has been enough motor
I will say
for years.
It's different though. Driving a Ranger versus a Bronco.
Well, it might be, but in a way of being able to move the vehicle and get it moving.
Yes.
Think about the Ranger. The Ranger towing capacity has been the same, whether it has a 2.7 or 2.3. The motor isn't what changes that. And Bronco's the same way. Towing capacity in the Bronco is what it is. It's not based on that motor.
Right.
The 2.7 is going to make it pull away easier, but it doesn't change how much it can tow.
Right.
Same way on the Ranger. That 2.7 on the Ranger wasn't available until what, 24 model year?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the 2.3 is, in my opinion, is a good engine.
Yeah.
Now, I might be a little bit biased because I do have the cold air intake from Roush, and that's made a difference in how it performs. But I put mine, like today, there was somebody said that about they think they should put a V8 in all of them, and I'm like, well, but a lot of the Broncos don't need that kind of power.
No.
I mean, we don't need that. It's more than what we need. And they says, yeah, they don't want to have to. I think they said you don't want to have to wait a year for the engine to kick in and start going because of the turbos. And I'm like, okay, I get that. Because today, I did that. I was at a certain place where I wanted to move and switch lanes. And it just kind of hesitated a second. And I'm like, okay, forget this. I put it in sport mode and that changed it completely. It's, so those drive modes can change it completely on how it performs.
I don't like the Ranger because it feels sluggish. When you press on the gas, it makes a whoomp sound, as I like to put it.
It's spoiling up. It's the turbo is.
But it doesn't make that sound in the Bronco. The Bronco doesn't make that sound. It's specific to the Ranger. I think it's because of the engine bay and the hood shape and everything. But
I don't know.
I don't like the sluggishness of that. But I also drive a tiny little C-Max that just zips around.
For me, that always goes back to what you're going to do with the vehicle.
Yes.
So I know that the Bronco mainly for us is off-roading.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in town driving and off-roading, we are pulling the camper and doing some highway driving. But with that in mind, a 2.3 has plenty of what you need to off-road. Depends on what type of off-road. Of course, Baja Racing, 2.7, yes, right. You're going to need that. But 2.3 is just plenty for most off-road situations where you're going slower speeds.
Yeah.
It is just plenty. Anyway, so there's my take on that. I mean, so like I said, I'm a big fan of 2.3, and I think there are more people out there that are a fan of the 2.3 than we realize. I mean, we ordered a bunch of 2.7s, and I will admit, look at we have all these black diamonds with the 2.7 liter because that is the cheapest Bronco you can get with the 2.7 because a Big Ben you couldn't get a 2.7 and 24. So we ordered a bunch of black diamonds with the 2.7, and they're not selling as well. And I'm wondering if it's because it doesn't have that the 2.3 was. I don't think that they're not buying it because it's the 2.3 necessarily, but anyway, I don't know. There's that, but I guess you can argue for it or against it either way. But yeah, there. Anything else on that?
No.
All right, well, we're gonna move on then. Get to this topic of the night. So when looking at this, Automotive News had an article out, and actually I don't have it up. I was going to put it up there, but they had an article about the retail replenishment centers going away. I didn't read the whole article. If you're not subscribed to Automotive News, you can't see it unless you're subscribed to them, which I am. I get the digital copy every week, and so I'm able to get that. And they kind of mentioned that and highlighted that the retail replenishment centers are going away. So last year, the way that you could get a Lightning was from the retail replenishment center, and that basically what they did is they made these versions of the Lightning, whether it be flashes, XLT, a variety of them, different colors, and they built them and put them in these replenishment centers all over the country. Ours is in Kansas City, and that's where you'd get them. So that way, what they wanted was a quicker way for a customer that came in and says, okay, I drove your Lightning, I'd like to get one. And they could look and see that, okay, I can 2 weeks or whatever, I can have this one in here at the dealership in 2 weeks. So they didn't have to order and wait 2 months. they could get it within weeks. And that was Ford's goal on that. But what they saw was that these were stacking up at the replenishment centers, I think,
Yeah.
and everything. And so they went back to basically the way you order every vehicle. So the way it worked with every other vehicle other than the Lightning last year, you had inventory. Dealers got allocations for your different models. You didn't have retail orders, then you got stock orders, and those stock orders was what you lined your lot with. Our lot, we have 300 cars on our lot. 82 are Mavericks that we can't sell, but we have all these vehicles on our lot, and that's where we get that inventory from. You go driving around, looking at dealer lots. You want to go, hey, let's go drive this lot and see what they have, right? That's your stock inventory, and that's how you got those. Every model was that way, even the Mach-E. That's how you received those. You hope the dealers would stock Mach-E's and such, and they'd get allocations and they'd get them, right? Again, if you don't have retail order. Now, on the Lightning, they started off that way. Dealers got allocations for those ordered units, and then we really didn't see stock ones for the first year or two. And then 24, they went to this retail replenishment, and that's the only way you could get one. Well, now they're going back to dealers getting them and ordering them. Well, here's the kicker on this, and the reason I want to bring this up is that I think people are going to struggle to find F-150 Lightnings on dealer lots, and you're not going to get them in replenishment centers anymore because dealers aren't going to stock them as much. And here is why. The reason I want to bring this up is that one of the things that Ford is doing is to help their electrified vehicle sales. They're basically to hit your FCP program for your dealer. And that FCP, I believe, is how dealers get a certain, when they sell a certain amount of vehicles or whatever, then they get rewarded. They get, in a sense, an incentivized. They get money from Ford for hitting their certain objectives and their goals and hitting their training. You get enough good surveys. If your survey scores are high enough, you have to hit all these things are different steps to be able to reward you in getting a certain amount of money based on each of the sales you get. And that's your profit. That's why dealers can sell vehicles at invoice and still make money, is they get this FCP money from Ford. Well, one of the things that they added recently that went into effect this year is the electric vehicle sales were going to be affected by your FCP. So that you have a certain objective you have to hit each quarter to receive your FCP money. And that's one of the criteria. Along with it, so you got to hit all the criteria, including how many electric vehicles you sell. And like for us, for the first quarter, that's January through March, was 8 vehicles, 8 electric vehicles. We're talking Mach-E's, and we're talking, it has to be full electric. Hybrid doesn't count, plug-in doesn't count, full electric. So Lightning, Mach-E, E-Transit. Those are your 3 vehicles. We hit 8. Between January and February, we sold 8. Our objective was 8. So here's the kicker. We don't want to sell any in March.
Right.
And you're sitting there going, well, why wouldn't you want to sell any? And like, we hate to have that mentality, but what happens to us is you want to every quarter hit that objective, because that objective is what helps you get what you're going to get for your FCP money. Yeah. Well, so you want to hit your objective, right? But what happens is if you hit your objective and go over, let's say this month we sell 3 more. Let's say we sell 11 or 12 this month, right? Do you know what's going to happen to our objective for second quarter? It's going to go up. So no longer will it be just 8 because we hit 8. You guys sold 12. We think you should be able to sell 12 again this next month. So they're going to keep up in the ante. Yeah. So our objective won't stay at 8 if we sell 12 in the first quarter. Our new objective will be 12.
Yeah.
So as a dealer, we want to hit our objective, but not go over by much.
Yeah.
So that our objective stays where we can manageably hit that and be able to be rewarded by that. And of course they said, because Mach-E's are built in Mexico with the tariffs and everything, that if that is an effect of us not being able to get our inventory or whatever, or the price is going up, that they will adjust that if they need to accordingly, because they want us to be able to successfully hit it. But so that is, I think, one of the things that we're going to see probably happen is that for us, when we every month we earn allocations, right? Those allocations are used to get you vehicles that you can sell to hit your objectives. Yeah. That's the whole goal, right? It's that thing. Well, what we received is we look at and see what is our average, what we're going to hit, what we're going to sell, what is our objective for second quarter. So we need between what's here, what's coming in, because remember, that's April, May, and June. So we're actually scheduling for May production this month. So we look and see, well, what do we have in stock right now? Well, we have 3 Lightnings, we have 1 Mach-E, that's 4, right? What do we have coming in April? We have 2 Lightnings coming in April, and we have 6 Mach-E's coming in. I've lost count. So we're going to have like 12 vehicles in stock, and we usually want to have at least 1 to 2 months. And so when we started thinking about May's allocations, we were offered 4 Lightnings. And so we're sitting there going, well, if we have too much in inventory, and let's say we were to sell it, then our objective would go up. And so we have to think about that. So this month when we were offered 4, we only took 2 allocations so that we didn't have too much inventory, but enough to we could sell it and hit our objective.
Yeah.
So we're not the only dealer that's going to be it's playing this game and having to figure that out. We call it a game, but really when you think about it as a dealership, it's your business. That dealership is your business. Yes, we work with Ford, but it's our business, and the success of our business and getting to a profitable center and profitable area for each dealership, you have to think about those things and how you can make sure that you get the extra money from Ford to help you stay in business. And that's what it takes to be a Ford dealer. And so when they change the rules on you, like adding EV as a part of FCP, which was not part of it in 24, that changes the rules a little bit. And so you have to learn to, hey, what do we need to do to make sure we're hitting those to get that profit center. So anyway, so I think because of that, you're going to see other dealers thinking the same mentality that we are on that. And it will probably affect how you can find Lightnings. And I guess that was my point is that because dealers are going to look at it the same light, they won't overstock their inventory. Like if you look at our lot right now, do you know how many F-150s we have? We have 130 F-150s in our lot right now.
I didn't realize it had gotten to that number.
130. But we're okay with that because, we want to sell 40, 50 because our objective isn't going to go up on F-150, right? To where it's that part because you're hitting, there's no objective for a dealership to hit for your total sales.
Yeah.
The big one is just on EV. Bronco, there's an objective, but it is to get built for growth money and cash that goes on those vehicles. And that is a different deal. And that is money you get if you hit your objective for that. Whereas the electric, that's money you're losing if you don't hit your objective. So anyway, so that's my take on that. So if you struggle to find inventory, it's probably for that reason. I think I did hear him today, though, in the call saying that there will be some 2025 model year vehicles, some early ones that they were making, job ones. All the job ones will be in the replenishment center. So you will see 2025 model years show up at the retail replenishment centers until those job 2s start showing up at dealer lots. And then they're going to want to move those along to dealers, and they're hoping dealers will purchase them through the RRCs. And plus, they know that some dealers if they didn't have inventory like we did, because we purchased a bunch of Lightnings from the RRC centers, the retail replenishment centers. A lot of dealers, may not have did that, so they're probably hurting trying to hit their number and just doing it on Mach-E's. Because I think that was a big thing that came up today is that there are a lot of dealers saying, "How are we going to get our Mach-E's? Because that's what we need to hit our objective." I'm like, well, there's Lightnings out there, you can get those, and they were telling people that there's Lightnings at the retail replenishment centers, and there's some really good lease deals out on F-150 right now. Lightnings, ridiculous. We're talking 0% on finance. We're talking rebates available. I think like $4,000 in rebates. There's some really good offers right now on F-150 Lightning, and is a very good electric vehicle too. So
yeah.
Anyway, of course, great leases on everything, but on both them and the Mach-E. But anyway, so that was kind of on my mind as automotive news put that article out there about those going away, and I just want to see with that going away and with the new program set up, how will that affect a person's ability to find an F-150 Lightning if they're struggling to.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it's going to be. And we'll see. So anyway, And I'm sure for Ford, they need to sell EVs, so they got to figure out a way. How can we make the dealership sell them in a sense, right?
Right.
I mean, not that we won't sell them. I mean, we want if there's a person out there. I'm an EV buyer, you know that. Got an F-150 Lightning hat. I owned an F-150 Lightning. I own a Mach-E right now. My son's got a Mach-E. I'm a big advocate for an electric vehicle, but I'm also a big advocate to getting a vehicle of what you want. It
Yeah.
doesn't work for everybody,
Yeah.
right? It's not. I mean, I'll be honest, that's not the vehicle I'm taking out of town typically.
True.
If it's a short trip, if I'm going to Kansas City, I'm going to Topeka, I'm going to Wichita, something like that, I don't mind taking the Mach-E, right?
No.
I maybe one charge and I'm there and back. It doesn't bother me to take the Mach-E. But if I'm going to go on a long trip, I'm not taking the Mach-E. That's my lifestyle, and that's the way it fits into the way we travel, and everybody's a little different. But that's why I believe that having vehicles of what people want. And I know for Ford, it doesn't make sense to them to make a vehicle that they don't sell enough to make it profitable.
Yeah.
For them, that's why they want to sell enough EVs, is that it's got to make sense. It's got to make it a profit sense for them.
Yeah.
It's not worth the investment, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, there's that.
I mean, EV does not fit into my lifestyle at this point. I mean, it would. It totally would. I mean, we stay in town most of the time. We would have a vehicle that we would take out of town. But, you know, at this time, we just, you know, doesn't meet. A hybrid's good enough for us at this point.
Well, and for us, to be honest, if I was a fan in our family, if we were to only have two vehicles, one for your mom, one for me,
you probably wouldn't have an
I wouldn't
EV.
have an EV.
No.
At this point. Like I'm sitting here going, okay, I'm paying 3 car payments. And I'm like, well, there's days, you see what I roll up in. And not every day I bring the Lightning. It's not my daily driver anymore.
No.
I enjoy driving the Bronco. If it's going to be nice out and your mom doesn't take it, then I take it, pop the top, and I enjoy the nice weather out. This summer when she's out for school, I mean, I'll probably drive the Mach-E every day.
Yeah.
Because she'll have it, enjoying it, and this and that.
She only needs the Expedition when she has the grandkids.
Well, we even talked about the Expedition trimmer that we have an order coming. And, and she was like, well, decide, do we want to go platinum or trimmer? And I said, I think the trimmer will ride better. And she goes, but the trimmer, the purpose behind that is the off-road capability. And I go, yeah. She goes, do you really think we're going to take that off-roading or the Bronco? And I'm like,
see you.
All right, we're going to take the Bronco.
I could see you take it once. And that's if we go on a full family vacation where you have all 4 grandkids, the parents, you, mom, and our siblings.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I see you.
But then you have all that where you're going to put the luggage because it doesn't have a longer bed. It doesn't have a longer cargo.
Exactly.
Then you're using then you have to purchase a Yakima rack and put all your luggage up there on the top.
Or a trailer.
Or a trailer.
Or a camper or something.
You pull a little trailer behind that while you pull the camper with the Bronco.
Yes. I mean.
Right.
I don't see us using it as a family like that. We haven't been able to get together for a family vacation like that. And I feel like when we do, not everyone's going to go off-roading.
Yeah.
They are all going to want to go off-roading. In fact, like if we were to go, Lebo wants to take his own car, while Jolie and Jeremy probably want to take their own car. It's just, I don't think it'll be used like that. So she's right.
Yeah. Well, Chris is in here actually.
Yes. ADHD is a Chris. Yes, it is.
So Chris is one. We mentioned his podcast earlier, and he's got a YouTube channel as well, Bo Family EV. And so he's the Turned Down for What. So when I get a chance, I try to listen to the podcast. And a couple weeks ago I was able to. This last week I wasn't. But so yes. So anyway, so that says. Does this mean that the replenishment centers are all sold out? Not at this time, or are they being reallocated? Those trucks are dealers for now. So no. So yeah, I kind of did. I probably answered that. Anyway, so right now there's still some 24s in those replenishment centers, and 25s will show up in those replenishment centers as well. So where we talked about when order banks opened up for dealers, those were that's when job 2 opened up. And then the order banks open up for dealers. And
Yeah.
that was for those, I think it was April production dates. So that's the first time we had any for our allocation system, right? For those April production dates. So anything prior to that, because their dealers are going to need some of these Lightnings for hitting that EV criteria, and they will get them from those replenishment centers. So they did they did say today that there will be some 2025 model years showing up at the replenishment centers anytime now.
Okay.
But not all replenishment centers. So I think they said they will be at the Flat Rock retail replenishment center. So it's only one location.
Okay.
So whereas now they kind of separate it in different places, it's going to be in one location. So you'll still have to wait. You'll probably have to wait a little longer to receive it because it has to come from Flat Rock. Depends on where you live, how long that might take.
Yeah.
But that you'll have to
Yeah.
basically, in a sense, it's already built. You don't have to wait for it to be built or scheduled to be built. Those vehicles will be available, but it'll be so every dealer. It'll look like every dealer has 100 retail replenishments.
We went from having dealer lots where you basically find what you want. That's what you get. You may not get everything you want. Sometimes you can find that little unicorn where you get what you want, exactly what you want. To we can now custom order. Let's custom order everything. So everyone's custom ordering. To now with EV, hey, let's do replenishment sensors. So that way when they know what they want, they type it in and then they don't have to wait for it. Well, isn't that basically a dealer lot, but on one location and then it just gets shipped out?
But the great thing about that is that if you're like, if we're a dealer, like we had 10 Lightnings, there's another dealer that had 0, right? Then that customer has to try to figure out what dealer would have the inventory, right? Whereas if they go online, they have that, and every dealer basically has access to that. And so does a customer. They just basically get to pick their dealer that they want to go through.
Which also brought me to my next point, was that instead of dealers having to pay the interest and have to pay for it to come to the lot, it gets sent to the dealer once the customer has it chosen. So it helps the dealer with those fees and the whole process of having it on the lot.
Yeah, I think, and I didn't read Automotive News article completely, but my assumption is that probably the reason that the RRC hasn't been successful or it's working is because dealers can at any time pick from that replenishment center to put on their lot. But I think that it just stocked up. I think, and then what's to say if, okay, you put these vehicles and you separate them out between all the different RRCs, but what if like one RRC is just, they're completely out, but then you have these others that have vehicles because they're in an area that maybe they don't sell
like ours
EVs very well.
We don't sell EV very well, but in California they sell very well.
Right.
In other places with the infrastructure built up to that point, they sell extremely well. So
yeah, but to finish that thought, there will be some, and they did say some 25s will be in those available and to access, especially those job ones. So anyway,
all right.
That answers that.
Did you see the next one?
Go ahead.
Do you think the Job 1 Flash will be a different price than the Job 2 Flash with the smaller battery? How do you think your dealer might handle this?
I think the price is the same. So actually, okay, so that's something that really wasn't highlighted much. So Ford opened the order bank even on the Lightning. Well, they didn't order the open order bank, but they had the order guides available for Job 1 Lightnings back in October. But nobody really made a big deal about it. I mean, I was going to do videos on it, but I couldn't really. It was difficult to do some. There's actually price level 515 on the F-150 Lightning available, and it's out there. So all these Job 1s will have prices that'll be set to that. And so like this is price level that was actually, this came back out in August 26th of last year. Price level 515, the Flash was, got to look at the right line, 67,995. So it was the same price. So they didn't raise that price from the others. I think they did a price increase. This in here is October 15th was a price increase. Well, it was a new order. I don't know if it's really a price increase. I think the only thing that changed was the destination delivery change went up. So that price level is 530 that came out on October 15th. And then January 8th is, I think, when job 2 came out, and that was price level 545. Is that right? Well, no, we got 3 price levels here. There's a 550 that came out February 6th. Maybe that was the job 2. Anyway, but yeah, so there are some prices on those job 1s, and based on these price levels of the order guides that came out. And again, nobody really talked about it because you couldn't, like, as dealers, we couldn't get them. They're not in the RRCs yet. We couldn't order them with those price levels. So that's why I really didn't do a lot of videos and nobody really highlighted it. But some of the ones at the RRCs will be those early price levels, 515 or whatever. They'll be on the invoices. Actually, if you could see an invoice, it'll have the price level. But it doesn't seem like they raised the price on any of them. I'd have to look closely to see what was different on each one. But probably some of the DIOs changed. But
yeah. How can you test drive an EV if it isn't on the lot?
That's the point. That's why we stocked some. We wanted to stock some. And what Ford did for a while was if you got vehicles from the RRC, then you got a discount on each one of those. So what happened was, I think what it was for us, it was if you got 10 or more the flashes or F-150s, I should say, then I think you got, like, you could discount your invoice by like $1,500 for each unit. And so we did that. That's why we got, that's why we had those 10 was that we're like, oh, we'll do that deal. And so that's what we did. And so that was something that Ford tried to get more dealers to stock EVs so that customers could drive them. We have still three of those original 10 that we got in January. Was it January? Maybe it was December.
I feel like it was December.
We still have 3 of those left. I think 2 of them are white. So tell what color people like. I don't like. But yes, that is exactly right. You kind of need some. And I think that's why they're pretty much trying to have every dealer take one. So we even have an e-transit that they wanted us to take. And so we ended up having to take an e-transit. But that's going to go in our service department. So we're not going to. Won't be available. But all right.
The Rewards Visa website says any points and or tier status earned from the Ford Pass Rewards Visa by current cardholders through May 27th will be retained.
Really? I actually took a screenshot from that.
Oh, yeah.
From that other thing. Nope, that wasn't it. Here it is. From this other, it says, and I'm not sure where he got this, but it says discontinuation. This program is being discontinued. Dealership employees should be informed, and no new credit card applications will be accepted after February 28, 2025. Points earned on the Ford Pass Rewards Visa can only be redeemed until May 27, 2025. Please remove all related marketing materials out of your dealerships. So that one there, according to this, says that the Ford Pass points earned on the Ford Pass Rewards Visa can only be redeemed until May 27th, 2025.
So maybe they're retained, but you might not be able to use them.
I don't know.
Yeah, because he says it looks like they're not expiring on May 27th. No new points will be earned. So maybe they're not expiring, but you won't be able to use them.
According to this, they can only be they have to be redeemed till March 27th. So I don't know.
We need some clarification.
Oh, something will come out soon, I assume, on that. So anyway, and I'm not sure on this where this came from. He only gave me a copy of one part of something he had printed out. And it had to do with a bunch of different dealer news, because the thing about the tire offer that's coming up is in there, and the lightning incentive for Lariat and Platinum dealer cash is in there. There was some other stuff that wasn't just that one. More information to come, I guess.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
On that.
They're kind of talking about plug-in hybrids and whatnot. Yeah, those plug-in hybrids, like on C-Max, the Fusion, they did take up more luggage space.
Yeah. Yeah, you did lose a little luggage space. And, you know, we have a bunch of Escape plug-in hybrids, speaking of that, but we struggle to sell them. And I think the biggest thing and the biggest reason is that where they're priced. You're about 40 grand for one of those, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for plug-in hybrid, and they lost the 3750 tax credit. So, and Ford's like, well, everybody else lost that tax credit too, so we're in the same ballpark. But so, well, it still doesn't mean you're going to sell them necessarily, unless you know. I think plug-in hybrid is a great. I mean, that is. I think that if there's a plug-in hybrid version of the Expedition, I'd be getting it in a heartbeat because, I mean, that is a great way of going. So I'm like, hey, here, let's just go, you know, our daily commute, but now we can get gas anywhere on the road. You know, I mean, I think that I'd love to see more plug-in hybrid versions of Ford vehicles. I just think, I mean, you know, let's try that. I mean, I think that would be a, you know, I don't think we've seen enough people to jump in on that. But anyway, I don't know. All right. Anything else?
No. Looks like Trump is on now.
Oh. I guess we've been answering questions already, but throw that up there anyway. So if you have any questions, so anyway, so yeah, we'll get more information on that Ford Pass points because I hope they don't expire. I mean, I actually use them, and I'll use it from here and there. You know, like every time I get service, they're like, "You want to use your Ford Pass points?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." And it's kind of nice. I mean, because I do use the Visa card, and so I'm earning a lot, and then I'm able to use it. And what I like too is every month I'm like, okay, you use your Ford Pass points for your connected services, $10 a month premium connectivity, and that's nice seeing that, you know. And then so I used it for the navigation. It was an $80 for the year for the navigation. I used my Ford Pass points. It's nice, but otherwise, the only way to earn Ford Pass points is purchasing vehicles and servicing your vehicle.
Yeah.
I think maybe buying accessories earns you Ford Pass points. But it's going back to that, you know, purchasing stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. We have Southwest cards. We both do. You know, we get points towards flights, you know, right back. And I don't know. So.
Yeah.
I will stop using that card.
So
here on out, it's like it's going to the back of the wallet. All right. What are you say?
Escape plugin, does the new Escape plugin steal interior space, or have they figured out how to make it almost seamless undercarriage?
So I think in Escape, I believe if I remember right, you do have like a lower cargo floor, and then you have this thing that can sits up a little higher, I think. And so I think when you have the plug-in hybrid, you lose some of that space, if I remember right. And I don't know, I have to go look at one. Might be a good thing to compare because we have some plug-in hybrids out there and some hybrids and some non-hybrids, I believe. I think we have some of each out there. It would be good to do a comparison on that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what's top of my head. Oh, here. We have any pictures on our website of a plug-in hybrid? We do a picture of the rear cargo area. We can look that up, but I am not sure off the top of my head. Escape. Plug-in. Boy, that wind is whipping out there.
It sure is.
Let's see here. Back to this. Go to photos. All right. Look this up. Well, the image is just like, oh, we left it with the card, that thing up there, but I don't really think you lose a lot. I mean, I think you might lose some of the stuff underneath of that. So Let me pull this up here and so I can see. All right, add that to the screen. For those of you that are watching the video here on YouTube, but you can see there's a rear cargo area that we took with the plug-in in the back, and you can kind of see. So this here, that actually can go further down or up, and I think maybe on a plug-in you don't get that lower level of being able to put that false floor, as you might call it, down there. I know that my mach-e has that as well, where you have two different spots that I can put that. So I don't know. Is there a way to get out of that screen? There we go. Now I guess we can look at and I don't know if we actually pictured this on some of these other escapes. See, like an ST line.
Oh yeah, lots more room than a two-door Bronco. I was telling Lebo today, I was like, my C-Max hybrid has just as much depth, like floor space, as the back of an Expedition.
Yeah.
Right? It goes back as far as an Expedition max length. He's like, no. I was like, yes, but the Expedition's taller and slightly wider.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I got it.
So that picture there, it looks like it's the same. But I do think that this cardboard piece there, that it'll actually go lower in this than it might in a plug-in. I'd have to go look at one, but anyway, there's that.
What was the manual joke that we came up with? I was like, oh, we have to use that for ninjas for real. Ninjas are real.
So he's saying that I thought the battery in the Escape was ahead of the rear axle instead of behind. Well, we can look at that instead. Well, I won't have a really good image of that. So maybe it's under the seat then?
Yeah.
Because that'd be right under the seat. So really, you probably wouldn't lose any. And the seats can slide forward and back.
Yep.
But I don't think you lose any on those.
Yeah.
So anyway. All right. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Any other questions we have?
So, Doug, you were talking about the speed sign recognition and how you don't have it enabled because you don't want to see the speed sign on your instrument cluster.
Oh, right. Did he find out if
he can't figure out how to get it to go away?
I don't think you can.
No,
I really don't.
So he says he's going to put duct tape. I honestly like it because it tells you what the speed zone is in that area.
Yeah, because that's what that's doing, is it's telling you what the speed zone you're in.
Yeah, because you don't have it enabled to stop or slow you or do anything. It's truly just going, hey, just a reminder, here's your speed. Because in Kansas, we have our main highway going to Kansas City. About the Topeka area, it moves down to 65 instead of 75. And sometimes you miss that because you're passing a semi or something. So I really enjoy having that feature just for that reason.
And that's based off of if you have navigation on your vehicle, probably. So I don't know if you go into your navigation section, maybe it would be in there, and maybe there's a way to disable it there. But I think I don't think you're gonna. I don't know. Part of me says that I don't believe you can get that removed. There's any way of doing that. So
Moondoggy actually have thought about this. On his local freeway, they have construction zones with freeway cones and a sign, and 9 months, not one worker. So every time I would go to Junction City, I never not once saw a worker. I swear. Except there was one time, and it was at like 9 o'clock in the morning. Usually after when people are trying to get to work. So freeways, typically people are going to and from work during a specific amount of time. So they're busy. So they probably don't have their workers out during that time just because it's busier and it's more prone to accidents. So think about it that way. If you're moving around at normal times of between before and after work, you may not see people because of that. I don't know if that's the actual reason, but that's my hypothesis.
I don't know. Yeah, Doug, report back if you find that out. He said
Yeah.
he's going to check in the nav settings. Yeah, definitely check that out. Right now, we don't have like a Maverick with nav in it on our lot. Everything we have is XL. We
Yeah.
sold all of our Lariats.
They're working under the roads.
There you go. Anyway, all right.
Secret tunnel.
Yep.
Secret tunnel.
All right. Anything else?
Under
Any
the
other
roads.
questions?
Secret tunnel.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right. So, he said it's on a 24
Lariat.
Ford Lariat. Ford what?
Maverick.
Lariat? Maverick Lariat. Yeah, because
It's
that's
fun.
standard with navigation.
It's fun. We have some people that show up every single week, and I know what you guys drive. If you say 24 Ford Lariat, I'm like, oh, he forgot Maverick. I know he drives a Maverick.
So, I think. Okay, so it's not controlling the speed on the car.
Ranger. Dang it.
I
I truly thought it was the Maverick, but he's in the Ranger.
So the speed sign recognition, or the predictive speed assist, as they call it now, if you have that turned on, then you can set a tolerance above and below the speed limit. So if you have set your speed, and you can set your speed at anything. So let's say, you set that tolerance. Like I actually have it. I have a tolerance of +5 that I set for mine, and I have a mach-e, and it's +5. But if I want to go +7, then I can bump it up and still go +7. But the next time I hit a different speed zone, it will adjust to +5. So if I'm in a 75, and let's say I'm going 77, and then I have a new zone at 65, it'll bump me down to 70. So it'll automatically change my speed. Now, if I deactivate the speed sign recognition part of that, then it won't change it, and you're only changing your speed. You're having to change it yourself. So hopefully that makes sense. So happy half birthday.
Is that?
Today's your half birthday?
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes, it is.
There you go. Trump just signed an executive order that anyone who doesn't own a manual clutch will be tariff taxed, except mermaids. Mermaids can't use a clutch.
They have two sides to their fin.
Anyway. All right. Anything else we got? No?
Not really.
Okay. Well, nothing else. Don't need to sit here with dead air on a podcast. So we can move on. But so he has a Ranger. So yeah, let us know, Doug. Come back, because that would, if it work on a Ranger, it'll work on all the other vehicles too that would have nav with that speed sign. So I'm curious. So, which
my father-in-law has a Ranger.
I guess I have a mach-e. You can try it on it too. But anyway, I don't actually. I really, and not to be the bearer of bad news, I really don't think it'll go away.
I'll go try tomorrow. I'll try everything under the sun.
Anyway.
And also try and give video of the sound that I don't like, because apparently other people don't hear the sound, but I hear the sound.
Right now?
No.
There's a squeak.
There is a squeak. I'm ignoring that squeak. Please do not draw it to my
I don't know what's going on in here. There's a little squeak going. Anyway. All right. Well, it could be the wind. But all right. Well, that's it. Then we'll move on from here. Hope you guys had a great night. We'll let you have your evening, the rest of your evening with Trump. But don't think we're losing viewership over that. But in case you wanted, I'll let you have that time, and you can check that out. But yeah, so thanks for joining us. And not normally, I know a lot of our crowd is like Maverick and such, and so we're not all as big an EV crowd. But I think it was just, like I said, I always want to report and talk about, have a special topic that has something to do with what's kind of in the news right now. And with Automotive News kind of posting that out there, I thought it was something that we should cover. And like I said, we covered that the RRCs were going away, and that you'd be ordering vehicles from your dealers for your Lightnings. What was that, a month ago when we talked Job 2?
Yeah.
We kind of highlighted that, because we had heard that already. We knew that was coming because they told us we were getting allocations for F-150 Lightning. And we're like, we can't order one. And then order banks opened up. So that's kind of how we'd figured it out.
Yeah.
And then also they mentioned that NADA. That's the other how we found out. But anyway, I know the Automotive News, they can't go into the Ford dealer ones unless the dealer is nice enough to go and tell them exactly what Ford said. But anyway, so there we go. There's that. But all right. All right. So yeah, well, thanks. And so definitely Chris is in here. Definitely check out his podcast. He has and I think it's Wednesday nights, if I'm not mistaken. It comes up on my notifications. As long as I'm logged in as Ford Video Guy on my YouTube, then it pops up and reminds me,
right?
Because I follow him on that account. So definitely check out his podcast. And he has some good people on there, and they always talk EV, and always fun to learn. And so from a big EV community. So, all right, I think that's it. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Nope. All right. Well, without anything else, then Thursday nights. They're live Thursday nights. There you go. So turn down for watts. WATT. I don't know if there's an S on it or not. Anyway, link is in our comments or in the description of this video. You can check out that channel.
And don't forget, Kelly and Dave are on Monday or Sunday nights
now. And so definitely check them out. They're trying to cover more vehicles than just the Broncos. So there's some nights where I'm kind of like half listening because they're not covering a Ford product and talking about Ford or off-roading. They're covering other products, and but that's what their channel's about. So that's always good. But
all terrains.
Yeah, all terrain, right? No matter what manufacturer. So that's always good. So there you go. Turn down for what? There, he's got it in there. So go check that out. Give him a subscribe, and all right. Well, that's it. Then we're gonna head on out. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight and got some questions. And if there's a topic you want to see us talk about, make sure you let us know. Drop it down in the comments, and we'll try to do that as well. And other than that, I think that's it. Got anything else? Parting shots?
I do not.
Parting words. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And until the next video, stay positive, be kind to one another,
and be kind to yourself.